I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I want to look at one key issue that will enable you to maximize your life. And this dress I am wearing aptly illustrates that gift, or will I say ability, that you need to have. It is called resourcefulness. Resourcefulness is the ability to quickly and cleverly provide solutions to problems. In the Sacramento Valley during the gold rush, people used tarpaulin as material to sew work clothes, trousers. The Americans call them pants. And one of the major issues that they had was that the the junctions of the trousers where the pockets were, they loosened very quickly. And somebody quickly used pins to pin those angles, rivets to pin those angles so that it did not loosen. And he didn't have money to patent it. It was a hardware, he was selling things for the miners. And he met Levi Strauss. Levi Strauss now patented it. And it is from there that jeans became very, very popular. Just a simple solution of putting rivets at the angles of the pockets of tarpaulin trousers or cotton trousers, thick cotton trousers or pants in the Sacramento Valley led to the production of jeans. Coca-Cola was produced by Chandler first, and then John Pemberton bought the formula from him. And instead of selling them with glasses or glass cups, like as the original owner was doing, he bottled them. And that increased the sales. So the ability to provide solutions, complex, simple, clever solutions to complex issues, is resourcefulness. A hotel was thinking about how to increase the height of the hotel, but their problem was the lift. And a waiter suggested that if we can't put the lift inside the building, why don't we put it outside the building? We can build up, then let the lift be gliding outside the building. That is how these glass lifts that slide on the wall of the building came into being. Resourceful thinking. In surgery, there's something called Spitz-Holter valve. Spitz, Spitz hyphen Holter, Holter. One of them was the neurosurgeon. Another one was the blacksmith. The blacksmith was the one who had a son that had hydrocephalus. The head was growing because of the excessive production of cerebrospinal fluid, the fluid that flows around the brain and to the spinal cord. And when you did surgery in those days, you pumped the excessive fluid into the heart. And as the heart pumps, some blood will come back, some of this fluid will come back to the head. So the surgeon was discussing with the blacksmith, and the blacksmith told him that he could design a valve so that when the cerebrospinal fluid flows into the brain, if the heart contracts, it can't pump back. And that's how Spitz-Holter valve was designed. A surgeon and a blacksmith. Very odd combination. If you have that ability to provide results in very tricky and difficult situations, you are a resourceful person. And I have somebody like that very close to me. He can provide solutions for several issues. Number two, if you are married to a resourceful person, particularly a resourceful wife, she can produce good results at minimum cost. Producing great results at minimum cost is one form of resourcefulness. And that's one thing that has helped me in marriage. I had a wife, and I have a wife that can produce results at minimum cost. Most people who are poor are very, very wasteful. At the building I'm building at the permanent site of Petra Institute, we are going towards the roofing level, and I needed to, because I changed the plan, I needed to fill up the pillars with concrete, and been thinking of how to do that at a reduced cost, achieve the same results, even better results, because of the increase in the price of building materials. And then somebody came up with the idea of rice gravels. That is the gravels, when you dredge sand, there are the ones sand with stones, big stones. And that was far cheaper and smoother and stronger than if we had gone to buy a trailer load of 35 tons at about £500,000, more than £500,000. I had a carpenter that went to look at it. He said that I should buy 80 planks. But another carpenter came. We bought 60 planks. So he would board. When the walls dry, the pillars dry, he will remove and go and transfer to the other side of the building. That saved me money. And the people who would pour the concrete came that they would take a certain amount, and each pillar was to go for 5,000 naira. And there are 106 pillars in that building. I told them, no, you can't do that. And then we devised another formula of doing it at a far cheaper price. So that is producing the same results or even better results at a lower cost. And that's one thing you must learn. I was to sell my property to start printing books. As you have always known, I have lots of books just here in my sitting room. And but an idea came. Why don't you start by doing lecture notes in pamphlets? So I did lecture notes in pamphlets, printed them in my printing press, and I sold. From there, I kept printing pamphlets and sold money that enabled me to start publishing books again. And I used this same phone that I'm using to do this video to write books. I have a WhatsApp number that is in this phone that is mine. So I write and I send to myself, so I can be in the airport and be writing a chapter. I can be anywhere and be writing a chapter. So it's easy for me to write books now, easier, using my phone and using WhatsApp. And I'm taking 2,000 copies of the book titled Overcoming Difficult Times to the Men's Convention of the Church of God Mission and the Balm of Gilead from 11th to 14th of July. And I'm inviting you. You're going to learn a lot. Thousands of men are going to come from all over the world for the convention. So I'm one of the guest speakers. It's usually a beautiful time. So from pamphlets, and how did I even print the pamphlets? I have plantain growing behind my office. The plantain became very big because of the wastewater from my fish tank. I used to rear fish at the back of my office. The wastewater produced this big bunch of plantain. I sold it. Then I sold scrap. I have several vehicles we use for transport. The scrap, I don't throw them away. I learned from my lawyer who has trailers. So I sold scrap. I bought paper from my wife. My wife sold paper to me. She didn't want to give to me free, but now she wants to take from me free. That's how marriage is. I sold scrap and bought paper from my wife. I even borrowed money from my then principal, and I printed pamphlets, took to a big convention. We sold materials of more than 300 and something thousand after that initial borrowing and scrapping around. So it takes skill to cook a good meal with little money. It's not necessarily the cost. There's a saying in Nigeria, food when sweet na money kill am. That's if a meal is delicious, you must have put in a lot of money. It's not always true. You see some women elegantly dressed. If they tell you the cost of that dress, it will shock you. Remember the coat of many colors, Dolly Parton, the coat of many colors that my mama made for me. They were made from rags, pieces of clothes, and the cloth was very nice, and she wore it with pride. So many people are achieving great results with at minimum cost. And as I said, I started my real estate business very minimum cost. I even started publishing with 35,000 naira. That's a company I was treating their workers, and I had a retainership with them. Paid me, is it 35,000 naira? They paid me, and I used to publish "Hold On to Your Vision," which was the morning devotion we held at home with my wife and my children. That was the first book I published that started bringing resources to the family. I was using a small cassette player that had double compartments. God helped me, I designed something that could adapt a microphone to the cassette player, and then I will use my bedroom with my son, Dr. Ufoma, and record. Then Chuma Okora, for blessed memory, donated cassette duplicator. So I would record my messages before going to preach and duplicate them. And there was a time people would form lines to buy my messages. That was how I got money to start some of these things you are seeing. Then we graduated to CD players, duplicators, and all that from very, very minimal resources. And if you don't have this craw mentality of craw is the way chicks feed. That's how the mother feeds and the chicks feed. That's how they become big hens and big cocks. Learn to use small resources to produce great results. These YouTube videos I'm using very basic technology, and somebody has used it as an illustration in faraway Europe, and somebody sent the video to me from one country. Is it Turkey? I can't remember. And it's these simple things. Yeah, I have pastors. They have big cameras. They have big studios, editing machines, all kinds. Common to produce one video. Their team, the team they have in the church media team, can't help them produce anything out. It's because they have this wasteful African mentality, and you must remove that from your brain and ask God to help you to use minimum resources to create great results. God started with a formless and a dark world. He created man from dust, and that's a key factor that you need to put into your life: resourcefulness, and then resources will flow out of you. I've learned to use the very barest minimum because I've never had much in life. I am Dr. Charles Apoki. I have a seminar coming up on the 2nd and on the 3rd of August. It is our monthly August mentorship program online. The masterclass is online. Send a message to me on WhatsApp. Please, WhatsApp, SMS, I might not be able to respond to you. WhatsApp on +234 7052136763. And I will send you the flyer. God bless you.